Just want to say thank you to everyone for being with us today to talk about this very important issue. I'm Gina Maffei. I'm the Administrative Director for the Northwest Kidney Council.
Hi, everyone. My name is Michael McIntyre. I'm also with the Northwest Kidney Council. I do a lot of our communications work here at the organization. We've brought together three awesome folks: Adrian Miller, Dr. Chris Blosser, and William Maixner. Adrian, do you want to go first?
Yeah, Adrian Miller. I am a board director for the Dialysis Patient Citizens. I spent 6.5 years on in-center hemodialysis, and I was transplanted in 2018.
Good afternoon. Great to meet you all. Chris Blosser. I'm a professor at the University of Washington, specifically care for people with needs of or after kidney transplant.
I'm Will, Senior Director of Transplants with DaVita Kidney Care. I help lead our strategy in terms of how we think through transplant more holistically, of how we support our patients and families to ultimately get transplanted. This is my passion, and I'm really happy to be here to have this dialogue.
Let's start off with Adrian from the recipient side of things.
In 2012, that Super Bowl Monday, I wasn't feeling good at all, and I thought I was just hungover. My life changed that afternoon. I was told that I needed to go on dialysis, and at the time I didn't even know what dialysis was. And then in 2018, I was actually at dialysis, and when OHSU called me and said, it's your turn, it's basically your turn. And I remember telling the lady, well, yeah, I'm on the dialysis machine right now. And she told me, yeah, well, get off. We need you here.
The national wait list for patients with end-stage renal disease is about 16.4%. There's just not enough organs available, right? With about 100,000 patients on the wait list, about 25,000 get transplanted. I think one of the most surprising aspects is, despite an increase in deceased donation, we have seen a decrease in living donation over the last couple of years post-COVID.
One of the other reasons that's really significant is the financial problems that come with donation. Living donors are not reimbursed for time off work, and in that way, it has to be the money has to come from somewhere, and that's despite living donation being the best possible outcome for a person who needs a transplant.
From DaVita's standpoint, what role do y'all play in preparing patients for transplants?
Starts off with a culture that transplant is important from top down, that we recognize and advocate that transplant is the best option for many of our patients. From there, it's providing the right education at the right time that is culturally competent, easy to understand with the right follow-up.
I would suggest that one of the most important first steps is to get an appointment with a transplant program, and in that process, learn what that transplant program is looking for. Many people believe that age is a restriction as a recipient, and I think most, if not all, transplant programs have moved away from age as a restriction. Rather, we look about and think about health. Weight management is one of those considerations. Cardiac and heart health are really important to minimize the risk with the surgery in the long term. I think the other thing I would encourage is to get to know someone who's gone through the process, not a doctor, not a nurse, but a patient, and talk with them. There's nothing like that personal conversation to be able to ask questions of someone like Adrian.
When I first went to OHSU, it was like an interview process with a panel of people, but you have to self-advocate. I used to tell everyone I shook hands with, I need a transplant, because you never know when that person's going to come forward and be a match.